Hello guys, welcome to another session of May the Codes with you, and today we are going to another lead code problem, that is largest rectangle in a histogram. So what we do in this problem is that we have given an input that contains the height of the bars in this bar graph. Histogram is also known as bar graph. So what we have to do, we have to find the rectangle with maximum area that is encomposed in this histogram. That, for example, as shown in this figure, this is the rectangle that will contain the maximum area in this complete histogram. There can also be another histogram, for example like this one, but the area of this is maximum. So let's start with the problem. There are three ways by which we can solve the problem. The first one is a brute force approach, in which we have to run two loops and check at each value and find the area of that rectangle. That is, we will find I and j, and we will run both in the whole array, and we'll find the area. For example, like for I equals to 0 and j equals to 4, we will find the area will be j minus I into the minimum of all the rectangles encomposed in that range. So the formula for the brute force is easy, that will be j minus I into the minimum height in the array that will be ranging from I to j. So that by running this loop in the whole array, we can find the maximum area by using brute force, but the complexity is very much larger, that is n square. So the second approach is divide and conquer, in which we have just to divide and find the area of every particle, just like brute force, just with conquering it by dividing. So in this video we will going to talk about the third method, that is the stack method, that how to find the maximum largest rectangle in the histogram using the stack method. So now let's start with this method. So what do we do in this method is that we create an empty stack and we push the element and we run a loop from I equals to 0 to n. So what do we do in this? We will iterate in the array and will push the element into the stack if the stack is empty or the element containing in the top of the stack is less than the current element. So now let us iterate for this histogram and run as example. So at first we will go to point 0 and we will push it into the stack. Because the stack is empty, so we will push it into the stack. This will be the first method. So now we will go to the second step at I equals to 1. At this case we can see that the element containing, that is 2, is greater than 1. So what do we have to do? We have to pop the element from the stack. So we will pop the element from the stack. The element is popped. So what happens when an element is popped? At that case we will calculate the area by using two methods or two formulas of area. That will be this, that is, if the stack is empty, then we have to do directly is height at the top, that will be the element that is popped into the I at which we are current. If the stack is not empty, at that point we have to multiply the element at the top into the I minus s dot peak, that will be the value at the top of the stack into minus 1. We will come to this part later. First let's go to this. So the area at this case will be will be 2 into 1, that is 2 units. So the area in this case will be 1. So now we come to the at I equals to 1. In this case we will push the element. So our element is pushed. Now we go to the second element, that is 5. So 5 is larger than the element, so we will push it. Now go to second, that is 6. So it is also greater, so we will also push it. Now we have come to I equals to 4. At this case we can see that 2 is less than the element is this. So we will pop our element from the stack and calculate the area. So the area would be the height at the top of the element, that is 6 into I, that is 4, the value at the peak, that is 2, or we can say the value that is at the top, minus 1. So the area at this case will be on 6 units. Also it is larger than our previous area, so our maximum area would be 6. So now let's continue. So what we do now, we are again at element 4 and we can see S2 is also less than 5, so we will also pop this element and calculate the area of this. So what the area at this case will be, the value at the top, that is 5, into I, that is 4, already we are at the 4, the value at the peak, that is 1, minus 1. So the area would be 5 into 2, that will be 10 units. Also it is larger than our previous area, so our maximum area will now be equals to 10. Now at other iteration, what we will do, if we can see as 2, now at this case 2 is greater than the 1. So what we will do, we will push this element into this stack. So now we come to the fifth element. What do we do at the fifth element? We can 3 is greater than our previous element, so we push it into the stack. Now as you can see, we have iterated our whole array. So what we will do, we will now start popping the elements in the stack and again apply the same formula as doing so. So at first we will pop 5 from here, and now we will multiply it. We will find the area corresponding to that element. So what would be that element? That will be height of the top, that is 3, that is now into I is at I is at 5, S peak is 4, minus S peak, that is our 4, minus 1. So the area would be 0 units. Similarly, now we will pop the next element. The area corresponding to that will be the value at the top, that is 2, into I, that is again 5, minus S peak, that is 1, minus 1, that will be equals to 2 into 3 equals to 6. This area is less than our maximum area, so we will not update it. Now we will popping our last element, that is 1, and we calculate our area, that will be value at 1, that is equals to 1 into directly into I, that is 5. So 5, the area at this case will be equals to 5. If you want to visualize this, let me help you to understand which area is this. As you can see, at the last case, the area that is calculated is this one. At this case, the area calculated was this one. At the case of 3, the area calculated was 0, so it was nothing. At the case of 5, the area calculated was this, and also it was our maximum area. At the case of 6, it was only the area that is composed by 6, and at the case of 2, it was this area. As it is only it is logical to see that the maximum area covered by the particular bar will be the area covered with when the left and the right side is less than that. That is, for 5 the left side less is 2 and the right side that is less than 5 is 2. So this will be the area that is covered by this block. Similarly, we can understand for 6, at the left minimum side is 5 and the right minimum side is 2. So the area covered is this. So it is only logical to understand how we are calculating the area. So now let us code the problem. So let us code. Let us first initialize our variables. N equals to height dot length, r max area, that will be 0 at initialization, r variable top, that will be pointing at the top, variable area to store area at different places. So now let's start with the loop. By initializing I equals to 0 and running the loop for I less than n. At first case, we have to check if S is empty or our element at the peak is less than or equals to heights of I, that is the current value is greater than the value at the stack. If this is so, we will push our element and iterate our loop. Else, what we will do? We will update our top with the value at the peak and pop the element. Now we will check if our stack is empty. If it is empty, then we will calculate the area as per the formula that I have already told you. Else, the second formula that is time minus s dot top value or peak value minus 1, and we will update our area. That is, if max is less than area, we will update our max area. So this is our loop. We will done iterating it. So as you can see, this is our main code, and what we will now do is when our array is iterated and there are still elements in the stack, so it is also our duty to clear it. So we will do it while stack is not empty. It will be nothing but same as this. It will be nothing but similar to this. What we will do at the end, we will return our max area. So now let us run the code and check for some errors. Oh. Some basic mistakes. Again, as we have copied the error history. So you can see it is running. So let us submit the code. Yes, so the code is accepted. So let us see the stats. So you can see, as you can see, our runtime beats 18.9 or mostly 81% of the Java submissions. Also, our memory usage beats 66% of Java submission. So we can see the code is very optimized and very good for the question. It is an important question and also been asked in various interviews. So remember to practice this question on your own and then take our code. If you liked our explanation, please like our video. If you have any doubts, please comment in the comment section and do subscribe our channel. Until then, may the codes be with you.